Americans may soon feel the effects of President Trump's executive actions, and they could impact the type of car people choose to drive. One of the orders will eliminate what Trump calls an electric vehicle mandate and could also end subsidies for EVs. In his inaugural address on Monday, the president said he expects his moves on energy to bring down costs.
The inflation crisis was caused by massive overspending and escalating energy prices, and that is why today I will also declare a national energy emergency. We will.
When I asked for these tariffs, in fact, I was surprised when they were announced. Tesla competes quite well in the market in China with no tariffs and no differential support. In general, I'm in favor of no tariffs. I'm also actually in favor of no tax incentives.
Elon Musk just got blindsided and Tesla's future just took a massive hit. Mexico has slammed the electric car giant with retaliatory tariffs, and the consequences could be devastating. This isn't just a small price adjustment, it's a direct blow to Tesla's carefully planned expansion strategy, and it couldn't have come at a worse time. The company's massive gigafactory in Mexico was supposed to be the crown jewel of Tesla's global supply chain, allowing it to produce and export vehicles at a fraction of the cost. But now, with these tariffs driving up expenses, Tesla is facing a brutal dilemma. Either raise prices and risk losing customers, or absorb the costs and watch profits evaporate. No matter how Musk plays this, Tesla's dream of delivering affordable electric vehicles to the masses just became a whole lot harder to achieve.
So you have written that Elon Musk's Tesla could lose billions of dollars in clean air credits because of Trump's environmental policy. Does that mean electric cars will get more expensive? And sort of on the political spectrum here, what does that mean for Trump and Musk's relationship?
This latest blow didn't come out of nowhere. The seeds of this crisis were planted the moment the United States decided to slap tariffs on steel and aluminum imports from Mexico.
Very interesting. I saw a tweet just came in from Elon Musk, who's using our wonderful space facilities and did a great job 3 weeks ago. He said, for example, an American car going to China pays 25% import duty, but a Chinese car coming to the United States only pays 2.5%, a tenfold difference. So an American car going to China, think of that, pays 25% import duty. So we said
the move, driven by the Trump administration's America First trade policies, was supposed to protect American manufacturers from foreign competition, but instead, it sparked a chain reaction that is now coming full circle.
Pay 25%. They send their car over here, 2.5%. 10 points, that's from Elon, but everybody knows it. They've known it for years, they never did anything about it. It's got to change. We're going to be doing a reciprocal tax program at some point, so that if China's going to charge us 25%, or if India's going to charge us 75%, and we charge them nothing, if they're at 50, or they're at 75, or they're at 25, we're going to be at those same numbers. It's called reciprocal. It's a mirror tax. So they charge us 50, we charge them 50. Right now, they'll charge us 50, we charge them nothing. Doesn't work.
Mexico, under growing economic pressure, has finally decided to hit back, and Tesla is caught in the crossfire. This isn't just a routine trade dispute. It's a high-stakes battle that could reshape North America's auto industry. Tesla's entire cost structure depends on efficiency. Every dollar saved on materials, labor, and logistics is a dollar that can be reinvested into production, research, and expansion. That's why Mexico was such an essential part of the company's future. The Gigafactory there was designed to be Tesla's gateway to affordability, a strategic move to build cars at a lower cost while benefiting from Mexico's trade deals with other markets. But now, instead of reducing costs, the factory is becoming a financial sinkhole.
When I asked for these tariffs, in fact, I was surprised when they were announced. Tesla competes quite well in the market in China with no tariffs and no differential support. In general, I'm in favor of no tariffs. I'm also actually in favor of no tax incentives for EVs, but provided that there will also the tax incentives for oil and gas must also be eliminated. So I'm in favor of no tariffs and no incentives for electric vehicles.
Every vehicle produced there, every part imported, and every shipment leaving the facility is now significantly more expensive. And Tesla can't simply ignore the impact. These costs will pile up fast, forcing the company into tough decisions that could ripple across its entire global operation. This is a nightmare scenario for Musk. He built Tesla on the promise of making electric vehicles more accessible to the average consumer. He took on the traditional auto industry by proving that EVs weren't just for the wealthy, but could be mainstream, everyday cars for millions. But with these tariffs adding to production costs, Tesla is now stuck between a rock and a hard place. If it raises prices, it risks alienating customers who are already stretching their budgets to afford an EV. And if it absorbs the cost increases, profits will shrink, investor confidence will drop, and the company's stock could take a serious hit.
Arjun is with me. You were at the same Q&A with Elon Musk last night. It was eventful, wasn't it? I pitched this question around the deliveries, actually, for a low-cost EV that the market's been wondering, is it coming to market? What's the timeline? I pitched that question along with whether there was a green light now because of these tariffs that the Americans are enacting on cheap EVs from China. Then the line went down. So it was a nervous wait.
He didn't want to answer the question, Gary.
Right. I mean, there was a moment where the crowd was saying, well, was that question too tough? And then eventually when he came back and, he didn't really want to talk about stock-specific news, played very nice, didn't he? Didn't really stray too far from a script. He was mostly ready to take questions about other elements around technology, not stock-specific news. But he gave us an answer around the tariff side. And don't forget, there's a lot at stake here, right? We've got EVs flooding in from China into various markets. The Americans...
Now, let's talk about the supply chain, because it's not just Tesla that's feeling the squeeze. The ripple effects of these tariffs will hit every company connected to Tesla's operations in Mexico. Many of Tesla's suppliers, ranging from battery component manufacturers to parts assembly plants, are small and mid-sized firms that rely on predictable trade conditions to keep their businesses running smoothly. When tariffs disrupt that balance, costs rise at every stage of production. That means delays, shortages, and inefficiencies that make it even harder for Tesla to meet demand. If these disruptions continue, Tesla might be forced to scale back production targets, delay new model launches, and rethink its entire global strategy.
Exactly. Just go back to January, Elon Musk made some comments about trade barriers more broadly, and he said that if there were no trade barriers on Chinese EVs, they would demolish the competition. And I think that underscored not just his fear, but actually the fear of the broader auto sector in terms of the power, this pace of innovation, but also the price of some of these Chinese electric vehicles. Now, if you fast forward now, we've got these tariffs in place, but as you said, Tesla has a huge operation in China, and some of the cars it sells globally, including in the US, do come from its Chinese gigafactory in Shanghai. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, whether actually the gigafactory in the US and in Berlin, Germany, are going to do more of the heavy lifting when it comes to the cars that are being exported to the US as well.
Musk now faces a brutal decision. Does Tesla stay and try to ride out these new challenges, hoping for a political resolution? Or does it start looking for an escape route, shifting production elsewhere? Neither option is appealing. Moving operations isn't as simple as flipping a switch. Relocating a factory takes time, money, and months, if not years, of logistical planning. Meanwhile, Tesla's competitors are circling like vultures. They see an opportunity and they're ready to pounce.
Detroit's big three have spent billions and lost billions on electrifying their fleet of vehicles that they offer to consumers. GM has a goal to electrify by 2035. That's its target goal year. Ford and Stellantis also have aggressive targets. It's unclear at this point whether their goals will change. Ohio Senator-elect Bernie Moreno is a former car dealer, and he says he'd like to get rid of the tax incentives that comes with buying an electric vehicle. He states that the government should not subsidize this purchase because the government thinks the vehicle is better than others. And he says we're about to see the golden age of automotive.
Chinese automakers like BYD, already gaining ground in the global EV market, are watching Tesla's struggles closely. If Tesla's costs go up and its prices follow, it gives competitors an opening to steal market share. Even legacy automakers like Ford and GM, who are rapidly expanding their EV production, could capitalize on on Tesla's turmoil. The average EV buyer is highly sensitive to price changes. If Tesla's prices increase, even slightly, many potential customers might start looking elsewhere for more affordable options. This is a strategic move to force the U.S. to reconsider its aggressive trade policies, but the unintended consequence is that companies like Tesla, which saw Mexico as a stable and cost-effective production hub, are now caught in the middle. If these tariffs remain in place, more automakers could start rethinking their investments in Mexico, leading to broader economic consequences for the region.
Liar. There's no measurement showing people getting rid of their car because they hate the guy who co-founded the company.
And I for sure wanted to stay with electric, but I was not going to get another Tesla.
While EVs are selling faster in Colorado, up 20% from the previous year, Teslas are not.
As more and more cars come to market through the traditional manufacturers, Tesla's market share is declining rapidly.
Matthew Groves is the president of the Colorado Automobile Dealers Association. They use data from Experian Automotive to track these trends.
They were first to market, right?
He says Tesla's dominated the EV market in the state for years because they were first. In Q4, the rate of new Nissan electric...
Investors aren't taking this lightly. Tesla's stock has already started reacting, with volatility increasing as analysts try to predict how the company will navigate this crisis. Investors hate uncertainty, and right now, Tesla's future is more uncertain than ever. The company was on a clear path to global EV dominance, but this trade war has thrown a massive wrench into those plans. What was once a straightforward expansion strategy is now filled with roadblocks, and Musk will have to act fast to prevent further damage.
Driving a Tesla used to be seen as a statement about protecting the environment. Now, some see it as a political statement, as Tesla's Elon Musk slashes the federal government at President Donald Trump's direction. Spencer Soicher shares how that, combined with more competition, means trouble for Tesla.
A fence with green tarp around it blocks this dirt lot next to the Northfield Mall. Get a little higher, though, and you can see what's inside. Teslas, and Teslas, and more Teslas. More than 230 of them parked in a makeshift graveyard of unsold
So what happens next? If Tesla doesn't find a way to either negotiate an exemption or offset these tariffs, it could be forced into a difficult restructuring of its production strategy. Could that mean shifting more operations back to the U.S.? Possibly, but doing so would bring higher labor costs, supply chain inefficiencies, and a complete overhaul of its existing production model. Alternatively, Tesla could ramp up its lobbying efforts, pushing for trade negotiations that reduce or eliminate these tariffs. But trade negotiations take time, and Tesla doesn't have the luxury of waiting. What's clear is that Tesla's future just became a lot more uncertain. The company has weathered challenges before: supply chain shortages, factory shutdowns, and skeptical investors. But this time, the problem isn't technological or operational, it's political. Trade wars are unpredictable, and Tesla's fate is now tied to economic battles beyond its control.
It's been a rough start of the year for Tesla shareholders. The stock is down roughly 25% year to date, and it's only the end of February. The selling has been so intense that the company's stock has been kicked out of the rarefied club of companies with $1 trillion or more in stock market value. As Tesla's biggest individual shareholder, Elon Musk's worth has taken a hit as well. He's down $75 billion since the start of the year, according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index. Tesla shares make up more than half of all of his wealth. Nevertheless, For
Musk, this might be one of the biggest tests of his leadership yet. Tesla is no longer the scrappy startup fighting to prove itself. It's a global powerhouse, and with that comes massive exposure to international trade conflict. If Musk can't navigate this crisis quickly, Tesla risks losing its competitive edge.
Nor I asked for these tariffs. In fact, I was surprised when they were announced. Tesla competes quite well in the market in China with no tariffs and no differential support. In general, I'm in favor of no tariffs. I'm also actually in favor of no tax incentives for EVs, but provided that there are also the tax incentives for oil and gas must also be eliminated. So I'm in favor of no tariffs and no incentives for electric vehicles or for oil.
Elon Musk has never backed down from a challenge, but this time it's not about innovation or technology. It's about survival in a high-stakes global trade war. Do you think Musk's Tesla will survive this shift, or will it lead to a strained relationship between him and Trump? Kindly share your thoughts in the comments, and please like and subscribe for more.